All right, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. At the point in this film where the kid is listening to the track or whatever, listening to this priest talk about whatever's in this book, and they do a little voice that wakes up the little spirit in this movie, and he starts doing a little ka, yeah. When that part happens, my neck did a little twitch thing, and I was like, oh, ooh, for a quick second, for a split second, I thought I was going to have to dip out of the theater because I thought something was coming to get me. But I'm joking, of course. I mean, no, my neck definitely did twitch when that happened. That was definitely real. But I don't think anything was coming to get me. I am a God-fearing man. He's got me at all times. I know that for a fact. But I will say this. If you are not a horror fan, if you're not a horror fan, or you're, especially if you're not a fan of blood, I don't know how you're going to sit through this movie. This movie is a blast. I'm not going to lie to you. For horror fans, you are going to have the time of your life. But if you're not a fan of horror, I feel like you should just watch this anyway and then just be solely good on any other horror movie from here on out. But if you don't want to watch, I truly understand. But either way, let's get into this, guys. This is Evil Dead Rise. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, this is my review for Evil Dead Rise, starring Alyssa Sutherland, Lily Sullivan, Nell Fisher, I believe her name is, Nell Fisher, Morgan Davies, and was directed by Lee Cronin. And our story follows this family who essentially stumbles upon this Book of the Dead. They open it when they know damn well they're not supposed to open no Book of the Dead, but they open it anyway. They find this terrible spirit that lives inside of the book that essentially possesses their mom, and they essentially have to survive her and damn near whatever else this book just throws at them, because this shit is absolutely batshit crazy. If you've seen an Evil Dead movie, this is following the same premise as all those, just being trapped in a small contained little space with this book, and all your whoever else is just in the area with you, and it possesses everybody or possesses whatever's around you and just causes all hell and chaos to break loose. That's what this movie is, ladies and gentlemen. And let me explain something to you. I'm going to start with this. And this is for the people who just essentially want to give this movie a chance, please understand, if you're going to walk into this theater, please watch an Evil Dead movie first so you know exactly what you're getting into. Because last night, I feel like just the people that walked out of my theater had no idea what this movie is, or essentially what this movie was going to be. And it's like, look, even the trailers themselves were those trailers for this film were some of the creepiest trailers I've seen in a while. Like every time I watched the trailer for this film in theaters, like my skin started crawling, and I love that feeling. Like I was getting getting very like energized off that feeling, just having my skin crawl, because I love horror movies, man. I'm a big horror movie fan, and for horror movie fans, this is a masterpiece. This is an absolute blast. You are going to have the time of your life in this theater, because I know I did. This is one of the best horror experiences as far as like just being in a crowded theater, just with a bunch of people just being terrified all at once. This is one of the best horror experiences I've personally been sitting through since Hereditary, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I absolutely adored the atmosphere. I had a great theater. It was fun to even watch the people walk out, but it's just, and they weren't very distracting, but it was the fact that I could hear, like, it wasn't even the kind of like walking out where people were just like scared. It was more so like, the guy was literally walking out saying, I can't take this anymore. I can't take it anymore. Like, I'm just like, dude, all that happened was somebody's eye got eaten out. I mean, dude, it's not that bad. It got pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. But I just want to put that kind of warning out for people. If you've never seen an Evil Dead movie, please watch that first before you just go walking into this. Or if you love horror movies, just go see it. Just have fun. If you love horror movies, no matter if you've seen an Evil Dead movie before or not, I don't know how you like horror and you've never seen an Evil Dead movie, but either way, this is going to be the time of your life. This is going to be so much fun, I'm telling you. Now, granted, what did I like about this movie? I loved everything about this movie, man. I mean, like I said, as far as horror goes, for horror fans, this is literally a masterclass at work. I mean, as far as the special effects, the acting, the horror elements themselves in the film, I mean, just absolutely terrific. It was perfection, in my opinion. Like, seriously. Like I said, the scene in the movie before we even get to the Book of the Dead doing the Book of the Dead things, like when they're literally just reading off what's going on in the book and the voice literally switches up, that part had my neck twitching. That part had my skin crawling. Like, this movie has a lot more than just jump scares to offer. Like, you are creeped out. You are disturbed the entire time. Like, if there was a recording, if there was like a camera in the theater recording my facial expressions throughout the movie, I was not smiling, because anybody smiling while this thing is going on just needs to be checked into Arkham Asylum at that point. But I was literally kind of like making a disgusted face. And you, personally, if you were to like to have a camera on my face the entire time, you probably would have thought I wasn't enjoying myself, because I was just so very disturbed and distraught by what was going on screen. But I was having the time of my life. Like when I walked out of that theater, I told my friends, yo, that was amazing. Like I had so much fun. Like, first of all, big credit to Lee Cronin, the director of this film, because the special effects and just the things that are done in this film to make your body just churn or your stomach just go in like 7 different directions is absolutely immaculate. I mean, it's crazy the stuff that they pull off in this film. I mean, the blood, the gore, the items being shoved in different people's parts of their bodies. I don't even know how they pulled off like half of this stuff. And the older I get, truly, or the older I've gotten, I truly didn't understand like what, like, or I feel like I didn't truly understand what it takes to pull off a horror movie or a great horror movie performance until I saw Alyssa Sutherland, the mom in this movie. Her name is Alyssa Sutherland, the lady that played the mom Elle in this film. She did an absolutely incredible job as the mother in this film. I mean, the stuff that she has to do, the stuff that she has to pull off throughout the film. I mean, just her acting in general, the way her voice is used throughout the film is creepy as fuck. I mean, it literally making your skin crawl, man. I mean, I'm having the time of my life. Like it may sound crazy. People may like look at this and be like, yo, there's no way you had so much fun in that movie. But I truly did, because I love being scared. I love being terrified. I love being disturbed sometimes, man. There are times where horror movies just really disturb you to a point where you're having that much fun. And Evil Dead is definitely a series that does that very well. And they continue to do it here. This is such a strong entry in the franchise. I absolutely, I had no problem with anything that happened in this movie whatsoever. I mean, granted, the children are annoying as hell, but I feel like they had to be, just because, I mean, they're kids, they're very naive. The young girl especially, like, she was very annoying with some of the questions she was asking, and I feel like her just not registering with her in her head that that's not her mom anymore, like, that was kind of killing me. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, that's a kid. Maybe that is how that would truly be portrayed in the kid's mind. Like, you're not really going to know what's wrong with your mother. And they weren't really trying to just come out and say, hey, your mom's got, like, that's not your mom anymore. Like, I don't know who that is, but that damn sure ain't your mom. They weren't really trying to just come out and strictly say that. But as far as like the family dynamic in this film, that adds another layer to it, especially the fact that the person being possessed this time is a mom. That adds a whole family dynamic and an emotional aspect to the film that keeps you very invested in the characters themselves and their survival. And like I said, I just really enjoyed everything that this movie had to offer, man. I mean, the special effects, the horror elements, everything that you love about horror movies is displayed in this movie, and so much more. Like I said, these are some of the creepiest trailers I've seen in a very long time, and truly, the movie intensifies what you saw in the trailer by like 12. It truly does. It turns everything up by like 12 notches and just gets even more batshit crazy. The movie gets completely batshit crazy, especially towards the end. But like I said, if you've seen an Evil Dead movie before, it follows the same formula all those other ones do. It just does a great job at keeping you on your toes, keeping you terrified, keeping you disturbed. I mean, there were multiple times in this film where people are literally like, oh God, ew, no, please, God, no. I mean, it's a lot of crazy stuff going on, but I'm telling you, we're all having the time of our lives as long as you're a horror fan. And it was, honestly, it's a part of the horror experience too, to watch people walk. It's fun to see people see who can last through a movie and who can't. And truthfully, more people walked out of this than I expected to. I think it was at least about like 6 people. I didn't think 6 people were going to walk out of this thing, but no, it was. And it was different groups. It was one group of 3, a group of 2, and then just one person after that. And it was crazy. It was pretty funny to watch, but I know this ain't going to be a movie for everybody. I'm not going to lie to you. This is not, I'd be surprised if the average moviegoer could get past the first maybe like 30 to 35 minutes of this thing, because that's truly when people started walking out. They weren't good 30 to 35 minutes. And I will say this, in the beginning I thought it was taking kind of long to get to the Book of the Dead stuff. But like I said, the family dynamic and the emotional aspects of the film kind of need you to be invested in these characters enough. So I did appreciate that a little more as we got throughout the story itself. But all in all, guys, look, overall, this is if you're a horror fan, you are going to have the time of your life in this thing. I mean, this thing is, oh, by the way, this thing is super bloody and gory. Like beyond as I don't know if I've ever seen as much blood and gore in a movie like the previous Evil Dead 2013. I'm not sure there was as much blood in that movie as there is in this one. I mean, there is a ridiculous amount of blood that could probably fill over 4,000 swimming pools. Like, you could probably, like, with all the blood, and I'm talking about like Olympic style swimming pools, the blood that was in this movie could fill at least 4,000 Olympic swimming pools, and that's a lot. That's a lot of freaking blood. I'm not gonna lie to you. So there's a lot of blood and gore in this movie, but like I said, guys, if you are a fan of the horror genre, this is a movie that you need to see because it puts the horror genre truly on display, and it shows you that all this other shit that they've been coming out with in the past few years is kids play. I have not seen a movie this intense. I have not been on edge as much in a horror movie since Hereditary. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, Smile, there was some great horror movies that came out last year. Smile was amazing. Black Phone I wasn't that big of a fan of, but what was the other one? Barbarian. The Barbarian, Smile, those movies were very good, but I promise you, everything that's going on in Evil Dead Rise makes that shit look like kids play. I'm not lying to you, man. This movie is so crazy, and it's just so good, and honestly, for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give Evil Dead Rise a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So Scream is definitely my favorite horror movie franchise for me personally, but I'm not gonna lie, after this Evil Dead franchise, or after this Evil Dead movie, Evil Dead as a franchise, as a horror franchise, not only needs to be respected as one of the best horror franchises in the genre itself, but for me personally, I gotta put it either right below Scream or it's gotta go right next to it, because Evil Dead has brought it every time. Like, these movies are incredible. They only get more intense, they only get more crazy, they only get more disturbing as they continue to make entries. I truly hope they do keep making Evil Dead movies. Maybe not just like spewing them out, you know, repeatedly now that this one will probably get very popular, but if they can keep if they can just keep these things fresh, if they can keep these things fresh and feeling fun and new the way they do in this film particularly, and the way they did in 2013, I think Evil Dead could last for as long as who knows, because this is literally revolutionizing horror every time that one of these movies drop, and I absolutely adore it. But look, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of Evil Dead Rise. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and so much more. I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.